Alright, what's good, guys? I don't want to exactly say right now, but I'm going to be going a different direction. So before I do that, I just wanted to go over this bike and all the stuff that I did to it and all the do's and don'ts and the stuff that you need and the stuff that you can get by with, because a lot of people talk shit on this here and guaranteed the people that talk shit have never even rode one because they make great stunt bikes. But let's get right into it. So first of all, when it comes to the controls up front, the clutch cable and the throttle cable are just way too small, both of them. So I went with the 0304 front clutch cable and then the 13 plus throttle, but I believe the 09 plus is all the same. So you definitely got to change those two things out just so you could raise your bars up a little bit. And Otherwise, you can run the stock throttle, get by with it, but you got to run it going directly across front right here. And I just don't like the look of it. And I also, I just think this is a lot better. It's plug and play, no mods. Just take one off, put the other one on. And then when it comes to the subframe, right now I got the A-Town custom subframe brace 12 bar combo thing. So it's the subframe, it's the 12 bar, but then it's a brace so I could keep using the OEM subframe, because I had the Stunner X before. I've actually had two of them, and the thing about a metal subframe, once you bend it, it's bent. So I went all last season with it probably about 6 inches off to the right, and I could still scrape, but it really screwed me up so I couldn't drag them out or anything. So that's why I went with the A-Town. You don't have to do any real big modifications underneath the seat. You just hook that on, and then if you do bend anything, it's going to be the OEM subframe. You can go and get those for 50 to 100 bucks. So, and then you're back in the game. I went with the Badass Industries half steel frame. I went all last season with the OEM, and I had no issues with that at all. One thing about the 0506 that does kind of suck is the tank itself, because you can't exactly dent it, and because it's just half of it's plastic, so you can't exactly get a deep enough dent to lock yourself in. So you do got to send in your tank to get it cut. I went with the Dix. I also went with Dix on my front stay over here on my 13. He does a phenomenal job, so definitely check him out if ever needed. Dual fans, of course, Impact Tech. Every time I got Impact Tech on all my bikes. I'm about to put the Impact Tech on my Ninja 300, and then Impact Tech's going on my GD new bike. So, and then they actually got these little brackets that'll hold your gauge for the 03 to 06, I believe. It just hooks right onto your casing, and then your gauge mounts right up. They're a little more pricey than you would think, but I mean, it makes such a clean look. I still got my signals and everything, so I can be signaling, blah blah blah. So the thing about the 0304s is I'm seeing people all the time swapping their swing arm and front end for the 05 through 08. Me personally, between that front end and this front end, the 13 plus or the 0506, I freaking love this front end. You can tighten it up and stiffen it up so much. That one's just a little more bouncy. I'm going to need to put a heavier weight oil in it, see if I can stiffen it up a little bit. But this bike stock is very, very nice when it comes to the front end. You don't really got to do much to it. What else? Oh, one other must-have. I guess it's not a must-have, but the tail saver. Especially this On Point one. It might not be the prettiest thing ever, but look at this little base that you can stand on now. You can be doing whatever up on the tank, and when you drop, you know you got just confidence galore, because you know you're going to be landing on a solid spot back there. Just people talk shit about how wide the ass is. Me personally, I like a fat ass, so there you go. HT Moto seats, of course. I do like this built-up one. I really do. Good thing about this bike as well is the brackets that get made. It's either 0304 or 05 up, and with this being a 0506, that means when it comes to the brackets, there's a lot more used ones out there, so they might not be costing as much. Another thing that I did to this bike that just really tied everything together was I got rid of the undertail and went with the side exhaust. And I also did that because with this brace combo, it does go right where the undertail usually is. What else is the dudes? Obviously the dual fan. Guys, I'm sure it's just like the 0304. If you're riding the streets, you'll probably get by on a hotter day, but if you hit the lot, you're really going to want a dual fan setup. It's just too much for these bikes. They need the air to cool them down. So, but I mean, look how beautiful she is. On this bike as well, I've always rocked the Impact Tech, and I've been using the 2-finger, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And then obviously I went with the front light. I like it. You find yourself a nice decent light, you get what you pay for when it comes to those LEDs. Well, I went with the dirt bars, and I had to put these freaking bushings in that were a mile high because just how high up these stick. If I were to not have these bushings, it would not have cleared, obviously. I can barely get my finger through there. But with it up being that high, honestly, I do like it. I've always ran the HC1 on this bike, but shit happens. I got the MSI bracket. They don't make them anymore. Mad Science Industries, and they're pretty legit. I like it. Usually, this kit comes with an adapter that fits the 0304 front rotor. But I went with the 310. Went and got some more little spacers. I need to paint them black so they're not so ugly. Another big do for this bike is the rear sets. I went with the NDC Customs, and I didn't have enough money at the time to buy the ones that with the pegs, so I just got the rear set because I had some pegs laying around here. These older bikes do not got the strongest rear sets, at least the Kawasaki's don't. But I think that's it. That's pretty much the proper way to hook one of these bikes up all the way. But if you got any questions, hit me up. Get ready for this winter for me to be building this 300, and then bike reveal coming up soon. Tomorrow, I'm meeting up with dude, trading this bike. Then we'll go from there. New chapter of my life.